Right, we've hit strike temp on today's brew. So today's brew is going to be a black rye IPA, not just any black rye IPA. This is going to be a version of the two-hearted black and rye. So, I mean, that sounds pretty bloody good to me. Really doing this because I seen Alex Rock was doing a cold rye version. And it got me thinking about it, and I was thinking, you know what, black rye would be amazing too. So that's kind of what put it into my head. His version, by the way, is with lager yeast, which will be good as well. I dare say. So in the bag is just to catch all the grains that always seem to slip out from around the side of the kind of filter underneath, because it's not flush, and they've taken away. There used to be like a silicone ring that went around it. Just they took off because they didn't need it, but clearly do need it. They need it on that one anyway. It's 25.5 litres in this already, so there isn't going to be much of a sparge. I mean, it's quite full from what it normally is. But I mean, we're already up to the top of the kind of little overflow pipe. Well, this is going to be fun by the time we get everything in. This is going to be fun. Probably should have just went brew in a bag, you know, with this amount of grain, but frig it. That is uncomfortably full for me. I'm sure other people watching this is normal for them, but for me, no, it's not. I brew short, and that's about the size of the boil normally is. So the sparge is like 5 litres, something like that. But we'll see what happens when I lift the grain basket out. You'd think with that amount of grain it would be sucking up lots and lots of the wort. Is it called wort at this point? Not sure. What point does it become wort? After the boil? After the mash? I'm sure there's some book out there that explains all that, but you know what? My life's too short to be reading bloody books about what you call a fucking wort before it's wort. Sorry. I find stuff out. I like to find stuff out by experimenting, by actually doing it, actually making the beer rather than reading about it and then just believing the words of other people, which may be accurate, may be right, but you know what? I would just still rather do it myself. That's the fun, isn't it? It's no fun having your head in the book, reading about stuff and then just presuming stuff. You're presuming what you're reading is right. Where's the fun in that? The good beer you make at the end, I suppose, but okay. I mean, this is uncomfortable. Because we're nearly at the top of the bloody overflow pipe. This is making me feel uncomfortable. And I've still got a good bit of grain in there to get in somehow. Just talking to take my mind off the nightmare that is this fucking thing here. Please don't overflow, please. Please, please, please. I daren't even put the pump on that recirculating arm yet. Daren't. Otherwise it'll just go up. Do you want to see? Do you want to see what I'm talking about? Look. Can I pull that up anymore? No, it's normally down here somewhere. It's a lot more comfortable, but it's dodgy. It's not as dodgy. Are you straight? Are you straight? You look a bit all over to the side, but let's not worry about that. I've still got all that grain to get in. Let's just put that all in now and hope for the best. Woo! There we go. All in, baby! It's all in, baby! Shit. Shit. It's actually going up the little holes of the handle. You put the handle in and lift the whole thing out. Woo! We're up to that point. God, this is worrying. All I need to do is get them grains under the liquid surface. Right up to the top of that rubber bung too. It's pretty much level. Fucking hell, this is just wild. Whose idea was this? Top, middle and bottom. Thank God for this whisk. Seriously, I would be in so much trouble if it wasn't for this whisk. Gotta get that on somehow. Without all them grains falling down that tube. Fuck. Shit, I've lost it! Shit! Yeah, I think I've got the top lid on, but I can't see anything now. So we need to tell you what, let's just put the timer on, shall we? And then we'll do something about it. Yeah, our timer goes on, mashing on 68, temperature now is 68. Spot on. At least one thing's going right. Okay, we have the end of the mash and the mash out. So, oh shit. Of course. Spill King is back in town. Spill King is back in town. Never went down. I managed to get the kind of the little paperweight onto it though. Woo! Something tells me this is going to be heavy. This is going to be very heavy. So keep watching because it did go off. It could go off right now. Let's just make sure that it's in on both sides. Okay, here we go. Holy cow. The bag doesn't make it easier to see where the things are, but we survived anyway. Okay, we're going to be boiling next door now. I've put in some new electrics in there, fitted a socket going from this socket up and across. So that should solve the problem of having an extension lead going from that socket over there through the door, because I really don't want to do that anymore. One, because it's health and safety hazard, and the other is because I'm paranoid about mice getting in. And if I leave the door open to the garage, obviously I live in the country, so they're everywhere. I'm paranoid about them getting in here. And so yeah, I want to have this door closed all the time if that one's open. So that will take care of that. Put my mind at ease, rather than having an extension lead, which means you have to keep the door open a little bit. Don't think any mice have got in, like, anyway, as it goes. But let's not push it any more than it needs to. So this is going to be about 70 EBC as well too. Now it looks a bit not pure black, looks more kind of browny, dark, but I don't really want to put in too many dark greens. It's only Carafa 3, but I don't want to put in too many, just because I want to keep the kind of the burnt flavours to a minimum. They will still be there. I'm not really one of these people who doesn't want any kind of dark flavour in there, because what would be the point in brewing a black IPA if you didn't want that? I mean, you could just brew a normal IPA, right? Who cares about the colour? So yeah, I want the flavour, I just don't want too much of it though. Okay, that's the end of the brew day. 21.5 litres, that's a half litre up. And this is our gravity sample. This is the second sample, but it looks about 1060, which is a little bit down in the recipe, but let's not worry about it now. I'm not about to do anything about it. So I was wondering what yeast to use. I was going to use M42 if it was over 1060. I was going to use M42, but as it's 1060, I'm going to use this, which is 5, which is, I guess, is USO 5, presumably, from Cross My Loaf. Yeah, should be fine. Max ABV 9% and 20 litres. Yes, absolutely. No problem. No problem. I mean, it looks more like 22 litres there, actually. Maybe it's not straight. So, let us get it in. Let's say they don't mess about with them packets. They really do cram them full of yeast. Well, one thing is we can definitely say it's definitely black. It's definitely black. So this is the black-hearted ale, the two-hearted version of, or the black version of two-hearted. It looks good. Looks good. Nice little creamy cap on top as well. Not surprising. So let's see. 6.3% then this came in at, so it finished out at 1010. It's quite low, so that USO 5 did its job. And yeah, it's just all Centennial on it, so let's give it a nose. It smells like Centennial. There is actually a nice little whiff of like roast notes of it. A little bit of roast, a little bit of kind of sweetness from somewhere. But then the Centennial comes in. Centennial, it's not a, I don't think it's a great hop for dry hopping with, aroma wise. It's good for flavour. I'm not sure about its dry hopping potential, but that's quite nice. I mean, it's a little bit orangey, I'll say that. It's kind of, I'm thinking like chocolate orange, that's what I've got in my head. Chocolate orange. Brilliant body on it. Fantastic. Even though it got down to 1010, and it was matched at 68 as well too, it still tastes fairly hefty considering. I mean, it doesn't taste really dry. There is a kind of rye, a little touch of the rye. I think it probably could have done with a little bit more rye in this. I think it was something like 5% or something like that. A little bit of bitterness on the back end that comes through, and then when you get it, maybe then you're getting that kind of rye, more of the rye kind of taste and more of the rye kind of dry kind of finish, and it's pulling through some kind of roast, astringent roast notes / bitterness. Probably more likely to be bitterness, isn't it? So yeah, it's a tidy little beer. Definitely pulling through some of the, you're definitely getting the roast notes at the start as well. It's not like overpowering or anything like that. It's just there. And then all the way through there's a flavour of the Centennial. I mean, there's me. Look how quickly that's going down. I do like that. I do like that very much. We used the Cara rye as well too. I was wondering what it tastes like. Now it's not, it's in there, but it's difficult to distinguish, but I'm definitely getting this kind of, there's this kind of caramelly type of flavour in there as well. But I'm pretty sure that's in the kind of original as well, isn't it? I think. So I don't know whether it's that's coming through, but
But yeah, it's only 5% in there, so I think we maybe could have pushed it up a little bit. It is really interesting, the combination of rye malt and like the roasted malt. I do like the kind of two combined. I've never done it like a rye stout. I'm wondering whether I've even tasted a rye stout. Might have, I'm not really sure. But yeah, that might be something to look into. If I was doing it, I would actually like to use Cascade in a stout, in a rye stout. But I don't have any Cascade. So I've got Centennial though. Do have loads of Centennial, so I like it. It could be improved upon. I think it's pulling through that kind of right on the end. You get this kind of, you get that, the bitterness. You're getting the astringency of the dark malt, and you're getting the kind of rye flavour as well. So it'll be interesting to see what this is like in maybe a couple of weeks' time. It's only been in the keg like maybe 2 weeks at the most, so it should be, for normal IPAs, you know, you would be hitting your peak, I suppose, right about then. But with a beer like this, and especially the Two Hearted, the last version that I did, it definitely seemed to age very well and almost gets better with age. So I'll be very interested if I can avoid drinking everything now to see what this is like going to be like in another couple of weeks time. There's a little bloody fly flying about there. So yeah, that will be interesting as well. But yeah, it's just that little bit in the end, all three of those kind of flavours coming together. It's really nice. I'm not saying it's bad, I'm just saying it's really good, and then after it goes down you just get hit with everything all at once. I would like that to be a little bit more kind of smooth, and that will be almost perfect, that beer, I think. For me anyway, for my taste. But yeah, as I say, I think maybe we'll get that in time. Maybe we'll get that in time. It remains to be seen. Cheers, happy Homebrew Wednesday. See you next week.
Mix mashing in a doddle. Though it is big and it is heavy though, so you need to be, ripped to use it. One of these days in summer I'll just have the shirt off doing this, and you can see exactly how ripped I am.